Hello, my name is Rob Garner. I'm a software development instructor, and today I'm going to demonstrate how to graybox a level in Unity. So today our objectives are going to be to create a new project using GitHub as our repo and enabling LFS. We're also going to create a graybox level and commit that to source control. So what is a graybox? Basically, grayboxing is the process of building a rough version of a level using simple shapes. Instead of doing detailed art right from the start, use basic objects like cubes and planes in order to just make a rough outline. And the reason why you do this before you make all your really detailed art is you want to play test the scale of things before you actually make the detailed art. So this is just roughly laying out the objects that are going to be in your scene, and then getting the gameplay to work. And then after that, once you have an idea of what the scale is going to be and what kind of objects you really want in place, then you'll invest the time to make detailed art. So here we have Unity open, and we're going to create a new project. And I'm going to pick this 3D core project, and my name is going to be, and I'm going to be reusing this a lot. So I'm going to call this Unity Tutorials. And we're not going to do the cloud project. I'm going to be using GitHub. We already connected in the previous tutorial here. And I'm going to add my initials onto this because I'm going to be placing this in an organization. I'm going to pick the organization that I'm in. If you're doing this with my course, I create organizations for my students so that it makes it easier for me to get access to it. If you're doing this on your own, you can just make yourself be the owner. I'm going to keep this private. And my default branch name will be main. Very important to enable Git LFS if you're using GitHub. And I'll let it create and push the initial commit. Okay, so the application will open up. We're starting with the empty template, so there won't be a whole lot to begin with, which is good. We have a main camera, directional light, and global volume in our hierarchy. You can click on these things and find them all. There's not much to see with them. Notice that as we pick objects, the inspector shows us all the properties for those objects. And then down here under project, we have our assets folder. The scene we're looking at is actually under scene, which says sample scene. So this scene is this one right here. So we're going to start off by creating a ground plane. And in here, this plus gives us the ability to create objects. And we're going to pick a 3D object and pick a plane. So this object that we just created, we can see its transform, its position is 0, 0, 0. It's got 0 rotation, and its standard scale is just 1, 1, 1. We're going to change this. Note that the green arrow is the Y, the red arrow is the X, the Z arrow is Z. So in order to change its size, we can do that by changing the scale in our scale indicator. So now this gives us a little wider area for our ground. And then we want to create a wall. So I'm going to create a cube. And as a reminder, to zoom in and out, you can use your scroll wheel. If you push down your scroll wheel, that will pan left and right and up and down. If you hold your right mouse button and move your mouse, that will rotate. So that's how we move around the scene. So I want this to be located as my back wall. So I'm going to position it. And we can position things like this with the arrows. I want this one at an X of 0, a Y of 2, and then a Z of 15. So that will locate it above the edge here. And then I'm going to scale it 30 and a Y of 4, so it'll be 4 units vertical and wanting it in Z. And that gives me a wall. I can hit Control D to get a second wall, and I'll roughly position it. And let's see, so if we look at that position, let's do -15. And then I'll duplicate it again, Control D. Oh, Control D creates a second one. You'll notice the walls are showing up here. In fact, I'm going to also rename these. So I'm going to call this wall 1, wall 2, and I'm going to put it at 0. I'm going to rotate it around the y-axis 90 degrees and position it here at -15. And that one will be at 15. And so I have a room basically created here. Now I can organize these more by creating an empty and calling it maybe walls. And I can take all of these. Now, when you make an empty, make sure it's at 0. I'm going to make sure this empty is at all 0 so that it's easy to reference later on. And then I'm going to take all these 4 walls and move them into this. This is handy because if I wanted to move the whole set of walls, I could do that. And then I'm going to rename this plane floor. And what I could do is, let's say I wanted a door here. Well, I could change this to a size of, say, let's see if I do 25. No, if I do 15, let's do 13. Actually, let me do that on the other side. Let's do that here. And I'm going to make that 13. And then I'm going to duplicate that. And do I want that at 10? No, I want that at 9. And then put this one at -9. And I can have a door. And then I can rename this one right wall 1 and rename this one or left wall 1. And let's see, we could then maybe add a another 3D object. I'm going to add a cube. I'm going to call this one platform. And place it inside of, let's see, yes. So, and then this platform, I'm going to locate it 0 initially and scale it so that, let's see, 4.5 and 4. Maybe I'll put it back there. And then maybe we'll make another cube here. We'll call this one ramp. And we'll set the values on this one to 2.5 and 6. And we'll want this somewhere where it can be located. I think if I put a y of 1, center it up, and then we'll rotate it. Now in this case, I need to kind of rotate it arbitrarily, so I can use these. So this gives me left, right, this gives me rotation, and this gives me scale. So I'm going to use rotation, grab the red, and just turn it so that, and you'll notice that this is lined up with the orientation of the object. I can also change that widget. Let's see, where is that? So down here, there's a tool settings, and I can change this from local, which notice that the widget is aligned with the object, to global. And that way I can move this that way. So those are some tools to make it move a little bit, to be able to control the movement a little bit more. Let's see, do I seem to have some, yes, the rotations are a little bit off. I'm going to change the Y rotation to 0 here, the Z rotation to 0. Sometimes you have to tighten things up using the numeric keypad. And that looks pretty good. So now we have a ramp that goes up to our platform. And we can do other things if we want. So, maybe, and this is just where you can become creative. You can add a cylinder. Let's see. Let's put a Y of 1. Maybe I want 4 of these. Maybe I want its scale in X and Y to be 0.25. Let's put this, duplicate that. Now, again, these alignment things, we have a perspective view, and if we click on this, we can switch between perspective and orthographic. And sometimes this can make it easier to see. This, unfortunately, doesn't give us as good a view as in Blender sometimes. So, yeah. I'm going to go back to isometric or perspective. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, so we have a reason for that to be up in the air now. And then we could create an empty here, call this pillars or platform. And I might move these all into here along with platform. Actually, I'm going to move this to 0, 0, 0. And then I will move all of these things. Yeah, we want that too. And so we have a platform. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is save that. That saves it to the sample scene. Okay, so let's see. The next thing we want to do is look at the main camera. And right now the main camera is located here. If I run this right now, it's probably not going to look great. Yep, we're kind of stuck there. So we can change this view by moving the camera maybe to the opening here. And just like everything else, we can control the main camera. With this, we want to rotate it around. So I'm going to spin it around 180 degrees. And let's see what it looks like from there. And now we can see our scene from the entryway. And actually, while you're here, you can play around with the perspective and just see what things look like. But watch this. When you stop playing, it goes back to what it was originally. So if you edit things while play is in effect, it doesn't preserve your settings and you have to put them back. So, okay, I'll have my main camera here and I'll save that scene again. And then we want to commit this. So I'm going to go to my assets folder and show this in Explorer. And then here's our, oh, that's interesting. Okay. So I made this here. I'm going to open this with code. I'm going to make sure that I did get attributes and get ignore. We want to make sure that those are in place before we commit. And then I want to commit that. Once it's committed, I'm going to publish that branch. And then if I want to make sure that that's on up in GitHub, I can go here and just make sure that that scene is there. This is what the scene looks like. It's basically a text file with all this, the setting. It's kind of hard to read through, but it has content in there. So I believe that everything's in there. Eventually you'll start seeing your scripts show up, and that will be your primary indication that your code actually did end up on source control. And that concludes creating a gray box level. Thank you very much.